BBC Radio Guernsey.
So, September has been identified by health professionals as being the most stressful month. What with summer coming to a close, the nights getting longer and darker, and the children heading back to school. And with stress comes sleep deprivation. A new study shows that more than 70% say they suffer from some form of sleeping disorder, and the effect of stress on sleep can be staggering. Well, I'm joined on the line now by Jessica Alexander from the Sleep Council, along with Neil Shah from the Stress Management Society. Good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So first of all, tell us about this study.
The Sleep Council's done a study to look at the relationship between sleep and stress, and also the times at which people feel more stressed. And obviously the key top-line results from this is that an awful lot of us do suffer from stress, 90% of people. And 2 out of 5, that's around 40%, who are suffering, say they suffer regularly, frequently or constantly, which is very worrying. 3/4 of the people who say they have trouble sleeping when they're stressed. And this is also a concern because there's a catch-22 situation going on, because a third also say they get stressed and upset when they can't sleep, because we all know how important it is to get a good night's sleep. So you've got a vicious cycle happening. You can't sleep, you get stressed, which means you can't sleep some more, or you've got stress from other sort of reasons in your life, and then you can't sleep, and then that becomes a worry and another factor in it all. So it's all kind of being wrapped up together and causing us quite a lot of problems.
What is it that's making us feel stressed? Apart from, you said, that circle of sleep deprivation, then getting stressed about that, and you're going back and forth, what other outside factors are stressing us out?
There's such a broad variety of factors that contribute to our stress in modern life. Literally, the overwhelm and demand that many of us are put under, the fact that we've got technology in our pocket is that, basically pushing a tsunami of information onto us from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. The fact that we don't ever switch off, that we're literally becoming overwhelmed, that we have nutritional stress because the quality of the food that we're eating is poorer and poorer, that we're not getting a good night's sleep, we're not exercising, we're not drinking enough water. All of these things, there's so many different variety of factors that contribute to this overwhelm that our bodies and our mental and emotional states are experiencing.
And do you think we realise that we are stressed? I mean, certainly from my own perspective, I know when I'm starting to feel stress, I feel slightly frantic. But do you think we all can identify the early stages of stress?
That is such a great point. Most people that we work with as an organisation, when we start talking to them about their stress levels, the first thing they say is, well, I don't feel stressed. In fact, we had this morning. We were doing a few stress tests this morning, and everyone that I tested said to me, well, I don't feel stressed. But when you hook them up to the technology, it's showing us that physiologically they are stressed, because we're so used to being in this state of stress that we've adopted it as our normal state. We don't even recognise it anymore. And recognition is the key to success. If we recognise we're in a state that's not serving us, we can then take action to do something about it. But if we don't know there's something wrong, we wait until actually it's too late, until we're keeling over, we've got really ill, you've had a heart attack or had some other serious illness, before you take the time to actually address the issues that are impacting your health and well-being.
And you mentioned that you've done a few stress tests. What's exactly involved in a stress test?
Well, the technology we use is heart math. So it's reading heart rate variability. It's looking at the impact that stress has on your clearance levels between your heart and your brain activity. It's a really good kind of mirror of what's happening for you internally. And just something as simple as taking some time to take some slow, deep breaths, bringing the breath into your belly and slowing and deepening it, can very quickly and easily change your state. It will change how your heart's functioning. It will change how you're feeling. As you get more oxygen on board, you get more oxygen up to your brain, which tends to help you to feel more relaxed. You can think more clearly. As I said, it will slow the heart rate down. There's a variety of different ways that you can take yourself out from stress and change your physiological state with no side effects, without having to spend any money, without needing any special equipment, just by using the resources you had on board the day you were born. Sadly, most of us were never shown how to change our states, and we're looking for that quick fix pill to change our state.
And let's talk more about how sleep is affected by stress. How big an impact does a stressful day have on your night's sleep?
I think it has an amazingly massive impact, because if you are not relaxed and ready for sleep, then it's not going to happen. And if you kind of go through the day and do nothing to sort of wind down and slow down before you go to bed, and you're still sort of on, going at 100% speed, then it's going to be very difficult to get to sleep. So it's really important that people actually understand that, and you can't go to bed, fully active and then just switch off necessarily. You have to prepare for sleep and plan for sleep. And there are relatively simple things that you can do if you're prepared to change your routine at bedtime in order to improve things. You do need to create a really good, restful environment, a cool, comfortable, quiet bedroom, no electronic gadgets present, really comfortable bed. It's got to be somewhere really inviting and calming. A good routine and a good for winding down and relaxing before you go to bed is really important. And also trying to keep regular hours of going to bed and getting up at the same time can really be key. So, and make lists, try and de-stress, those sorts of things. And everyone relaxes in a different way, whether it be having a bath, doing a bit of meditation, listening to some music, reading a book, doing a jigsaw puzzle. There's lots of different ways people will help sort of switch off, but that really helps to kind of put you in a much better sort of frame of mind and physical state for actually getting to sleep.
And what about when you actually are asleep? Certainly, if I'm anxious about something happening the next day, for example, if I'm starting a new job or a new role in my job that I've not done before, often I'll go to bed not too worried about it, not really thinking about it, but then it's when I'm asleep I'll have what I term stress dreams, where in your dreams you're going through everything that could possibly go wrong, and it's very stressful way of sleeping.
Yes, it is. And night terrors, nightmares, bad dreams are quite a common factor as one of the things, sleep disorders that people have. And obviously, that kind of sort of stress-related dream is something that does happen. And I think, again, looking at ways to wind down and relax and sort of make some notes so you can put sort of some of those worries behind you, literally, physically, before you go to bed, I think is a really good place to start. And also, one of the things you can do, you need to kind of sort of block those thoughts a little bit by having nice, happy thoughts and visualizing nice, happy experiences. And that works a lot for some people, just as top athletes visualize winning races and are taught lots of visualization techniques in order to cope with the stress that they have.
And before you go, Neil, just give us your top tips for stress relief.
Okay, now the first thing to bear in mind is stress was given to us by nature for a very good reason. It's a survival response designed to equip us to deal with situations like a saber-toothed tiger. And we're literally going into the fight or flight state, getting ready to fight or run away from whatever's causing the stress. With that in mind, the quickest and easiest way to take yourself out from stress is to give your body what it was anticipating, physical activity. It doesn't necessarily need to be running or fighting. It could be going for a walk, getting some fresh air, taking the dog out, stretching, doing some yoga, stopping and taking some deep breaths. As Jessica's just mentioned, visualization, rather than visualizing everything that you're stressed about and everything that go wrong, visualizing all the things that you're grateful for in your life or how you would like things to turn out. Getting the good night's sleep is also vital, and this is obviously one of the key things that we've been talking about today. Sleep is both a symptom and a cause of stress, so it's so important that we ensure that we are taking the time to wind down at the end of the day so we can get a good night's sleep and we wake up in the morning feeling rested and refreshed. Food, the majority of the stress that we experience, we are consuming. We are literally consuming stress with the poor choices we make with our diets. Processed foods, the amount of animal products that we eat, alcohol, caffeine, refined sugar products, all of these things are actually putting nutritional stress on the system. Dehydration is another major reason, so staying hydrated. There are a variety of different ways that we can better equip ourselves mentally, physically and emotionally to cope with the ever-increasing demands of modern life.
Neil, thank you so much, and Jessica as well, for speaking to BBC Radio Guernsey. Jessica Alexander there from the Sleep Council and Neil Sharp from the Stress Management Society.